Now, did any one of them say to you after you had related the story to them, presumably in the same terms that you are relating it to the commission today, did any one of them respond in a particular way and say anything to you, and if so, what?
They also indicated to me that this group is very dangerous. They also indicated to me that they will try and see where they can go with this statement, because at this stage, most of the community, which is to say police and private sector, knew of the incident. Most of the community knew who was involved with the incident, to a point that even going into a public place, I would meet or see a police officer. He would ask me, what's happening with the case? Are you okay? So a lot of people knew about what had transpired, but I feel, and the idea that I got, or the impression that I got from most of the engagements, is that the individuals were too scared to actually run with the docket. In terms of opening a docket, there was already a docket opened. So my statement would have been an add-on, an annexure on the docket. But a lot of these police officers didn't want to entertain that because of safety reasons.
You say there was already a docket opened. Do you know by who, which police station, and if possible, the case number?
Advocate, I cannot supply you with a case number. I know that there was LCRC the day after the incident. LCRC was on scene, so there would have been a docket that was open. That's from my experience. So just on the fact that there was already crime scene management at the scene, I knew that the docket was opened.
Okay.
Witness,
yes, Commissioner.
These statements that you gave, did I hear you correctly that you mentioned a Dutoit? Did you give him a written statement?
I did give Captain Dutoit a written statement. At this stage, what had transpired is after he took my statement, Captain Dutoit actually started investigating the grouping we mentioned in terms of hijackings, in terms of truck hijackings, blue light hijackings, and stock recoveries. And so I cannot give you any indication as to where that statement ended up. But shortly after, I do know that Captain Dutoit and Constable Karlinski spoke. And then I obviously, sometime after that, I did submit a final statement to Constable Karlinski, which I believe is attached to the docket that's currently carried by IPIT.
And these other police officers, I think you said Roots and two others that you can't name, those statements which were not written, were they made formally, as in you went to a police station, or you were just chatting to them in a social context?
Police stations, in terms of various applications, being in the security industry, there's certain paperwork that we need for, or functions that we need from the police in terms of fingerprints and that. So I did sit with one of the police officers at his office in Boksburg, where we discussed it, and I explained to him verbally what transpired that evening, and he said he'll get back to me. He is no longer a police officer. Warrant Officer Roots from CI, I did speak to him. I furnished him with a verbal statement, and when I spoke to him was actually the day of a copper recovery in Delmas, which Commissioner Spies alluded to or spoke of, where EMPD members tried to recover a load of copper, where Etienne van der Walt and Chris Smith was present as well. So myself and Warrant Officer Roots followed up information with Kobus Jansen van Rensburg from Coast Guard. And on the way there, that's where I spoke to Warrant Officer Roots in terms of what had transpired in Spaarwater or in Sally's Village. And then we did the recovery on the copper. We got LCRC out, and that's obviously when Kershaw, Lee, and Mackenzie came to a crime scene, wanting to take the crime scene over in terms of managing it, in terms of getting their role players, and we prevented them from taking the crime scene. Captain Hartley of Delmas assisted us in the crime scene. She actually opened the docket for us. and the recovered copper was submitted back to the client or the complainant through a Form 299.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Witness D.
Let us adjourn for a few minutes. We'll come back when it's indicated.
Thank you, Chair.
Apologies, witness. I should be muted. And then that. Apologies, witness D. We had to adjourn. There was a bit of an emergency.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Witness D. Because we stopped so abruptly, we could very well have interrupted the flow of your evidence.
No issues, Advocate. We can proceed.
Chairperson, perhaps I'll ask Witness D to continue in their statement.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, Witness D, can I ask you to pick up where you were, just at paragraph 45, please?
Thank you, Advocate. I require further police investigation into this matter, as these individuals act with zero accountability, hiding behind senior EMPD officials, even impersonating SAPS officials. Paragraph 46. There is another issue I would like to bring to the Commission's attention.
Witness D,
Yes.
before you go to the other incident, let's just finish off this. Now, at paragraph 37, if you would just go back to paragraph 37. Are you there?
I am there, Commissioner.
Yes. You say there that this is, you're describing the scene of an armed robbery in Apex, Benoni. And then you say,
Yes.
you say, upon arrival, I found Constable Exton wearing police pants and boots, armed but dressed in a private jacket. My question is, were there other EMPD members with her? Or was she the only EMPD member on the scene?
Commissioner, if I may correct you, Constable Exton is a flying squad member, rapid response member from Benoni. So there was various other police officers there. There was no EMPD there.
Okay.
It was only herself and other members from SAPS, Response Services or ORS, and then Mkhwanazi.
All right, thank you for that. And then just to go back further, at your paragraph 6, this is where you say that before the briefing, I asked Gobas to come with me as I wanted to go to a convenience store, and you say what the store is, and you said you were uncomfortable, and this is the part, you were uncomfortable, you say, I told Gobas that I'm uncomfortable with the members present as they are dangerous. Who in particular, in the group that you have described in paragraph 5, who were you referring to when you said they are dangerous?
Commissioner, I was referring to the fact that Kershaw Stolz, Aiden McKenzie, Mkhwanazi, and obviously Viandre Pretorius was there. As indicated, myself and Viandre, at any stage, we've not had a good relationship, and they are dangerous. You hear stories, I cannot speculate on hearsay, but things also make sense when you are in line of business, which is to say private security, and things make sense. And what happens with scenes. So that is why I indicated to Kobus, I am uncomfortable with the members that's there. Like I said, I don't know all of the members that were there, but the grouping that I named in my statement is the members that I am concerned with.
So when you say they are dangerous, it's not because you have seen them do anything, it's because of what you've heard about them.
What I've heard, and in, like I said, it's hearsay, but it's I can believe what I hear from, at that stage I did believe from what I heard from people. And yeah,
All right.
it's not what I've seen.
Okay. And then in paragraph 13, you say that in this bedroom, you're talking about being in everyone else, including me, searched the rest of the house. In the main bedroom, you found case dockets where the suspect
Yes.
is identified as a suspect in the particular crime or is otherwise mentioned. And then you found some SAPS forensic bags as well as a number of live rounds of ammunition. In your presence, was this person that you describe as the suspect, was he asked where he got these dockets from, the forensic bags and the live rounds of ammunition?
He was asked about it, but it was quite clear that the issue of the forensic bags, the issue of the case dockets that was found in the house was not a priority from the members that I've mentioned. As soon as this person mentioned the money, the whole dynamic changed. In my opinion, I feel that we went there for one reason, which is to recover the stock, which is to identify further suspects and possibly arrest them. The moment the deceased mentioned the money, to me it became a robbery. To me it became where the goalpost changed now, and the objective was to get the money, and no longer why we went there in the first place for.
Yes. And then so you don't know what happened. Were they left there? Do you know what happened to the dockets?
Commissioner, as I indicated later on in my statement, Etienne, Yaku and Viandre cleaned the scene. So I don't know if it was removed. I cannot speculate to that.
Yes. And then in paragraph 21, you say Viandre approached me and informed me that he will phone General Feroz Khan to fix this. Did you know Viandre to have a relationship or to be familiar, in fact, let me use the word familiar, to be familiar with General Feroz Khan?
Commissioner, I cannot confirm if he's familiar or he has any links to General Feroz Khan. But I also, being in the industry that we are in, we know of General Feroz Khan. And I know that he heads the counterintelligence segment for crime intelligence and in the kidnapping task team. So my motivation for telling Viandre that you cannot phone General Feroz Khan is, it's not his problem, it's no one's problem. It's our problem now. Why involve other people? And that was my issue with it.
Do you know why Viandre thought General Feroz Khan could fix this? Whatever he meant with that.
I have no idea, Commissioner. Yeah, as I said, I have no idea why he even mentioned him.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Witness D.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Witness D,
Advocate.
we had now gotten to your paragraph 45, which you had dealt with, and I think we are moving on to paragraph 46. There were other issues. Your paragraph 46 speaks to other issues you wanted to bring to the attention of the Commissioner.
Thank you, Advocate. Paragraph 46. There is another issue I would like to bring to the Commission's attention regarding the following private individuals. Jaco Hanekom, Chris Smith from Track Squad, and Etienne van der Walt, who owns Track Squad as well as Titan Security. All at some stage had appointment letters from EMPD stating that they form part of a EMPD truck hijacking task team. These letters were signed by Julius Mkhwanazi. They personally participated in operations where recovered or stolen copper, stolen cobalt, stolen chain store products was recovered, where it's always the the team indicated, which is Kershaw Stolz, Mackenzie, Etienne van der Walt, Chris Smith, Jaco Hannekom. At a later stage, Zander Fritz joined up with them. At some stage, even myself, in the beginning, participated in operations where stock was recovered. Only to realize that, and this is a question that most of us in our fraternity asked, is a truck gets hijacked, blue light hijacking, a week, 2 weeks later, there is an amount mentioned to the owner or the client that there's a recovery fee of 600,000 Rand or R1 million in relation to the hijacked goods. Then the stock would be recovered. It would be handed to the client with always a 299 letter from the Metro Police members. At one stage, Chris Smith was having paperwork to say that he's appointed by certain insurance companies to look for the stock, and then stock would be held back until the client pays a recovery fee. So basically extorted. This whole team participated in that. And it was done with Chief Julius Mkhwanazi's knowledge. Even to the point that, if I can proceed to point 47 or paragraph 47, this goes on from 46.
Witness D,
yes.
Apologies. Before you move to paragraph 47, Commissioner Khumalo has a question.
Witness D, you refer to letters of appointment that says these three individuals are members of a truck recovery unit. Have you seen these letters?
Commissioner, I personally saw the letters, and I will, paragraph 47 deals with that specifically as well, but I did physically see the letters. I was, some time ago, a handset of mine, which is to say a cell phone that contained the evidence, was stolen from an office. So I'm not in possession of that evidence anymore, but I did see the letters. And there's also police officers that saw these letters.
Thank you.
That is known to me.
Witness D, may I follow up on that? You don't have a date or timeline in paragraph 46 regarding when you saw these letters. Do you recall when you would have seen them and under what circumstances? In respect of each of them, you say Jaco Hannekom, Chris Smith, and Etienne van der Walt. Under what circumstances would you have seen their respective letters? And if you can recall, when?
Advocate, this was, I would say, from late 2021 to middle 2022, when I removed myself from stock recoveries after the Delmas incident. I removed myself from stock recoveries. I stopped performing them. So between that, in that time frame, this is where I saw the letters. And if I may continue with paragraph 47, it will give you background to 46.
Just before that, Witness D, you did not know, quote-unquote, Chief Julius Mkhwanazi personally. Did you know his signature? Because you say the letters were signed by Chief Julius Mkhwanazi.
Commissioner, if I may, at the top of the letter, it was on an EMPD letterhead or Ekurhuleni Metro letterhead, and the letters always started with "to whom it may concern." At the bottom of the wording, there was Senior Soup, I believe it was Senior Soup or Chief J.D. Mkhwanazi, and it was signed, a signature.
Thank you.
Thank you, Witness D. You may proceed. You were now at paragraph 47.
Thank you, Advocate. There was an incident where a truck with a load of copper was hijacked, and myself and other members found the truck at the Kop. The exact address was Setchel and Nederveen Highway in Germiston, Gauteng. This was a month before the incident in Brakpan. Jaco had come to the scene where myself, Kobus, Etienne van der Walt, and I waited for police assistance, that is to say LCRC and police towing to remove the vehicles after the processes were followed. Jaco Hannekom then came to the scene with an Isuzu bakkie fitted with blue lights. I checked the vehicle's registration through MCD, which is an app that allows us to check for ownership. And that basically confirmed that the vehicle was registered to EMPD. When I asked Jaco that after this, why he was driving a state vehicle or a police vehicle, he showed me a letter signed by Chief Mkhwanazi saying that he was an EMPD police officer. Etienne van der Walt and Kobus Jansen van Rensburg were also present when this incident took place.
You then conclude with your paragraph 48.
Okay.
If you could deal with that.
I fear this group and... sorry, Advocate. My apologies.
Please proceed. Please proceed. Thank you.
I fear this group and others like it who are responsible for a host of similar offences and even hijackings or armed robberies using state vehicles and resources. I see that it was not finalised. I fear that left unchecked, it's going to create a massive, massive problem for the rest of society in terms of trust in the police and private security.
And what do you believe the Commission could potentially do in that respect?
Sorry, Advocate, can you just repeat that?
You say that you fear this group and
Yes.
others like them, and you fear what they are capable of doing to society. My question to you, what do you believe the Commission can do to address your fear or to stop your fear from being realized?
Commissioner, at this stage, I am frustrated with the legal process that, especially with this incident and others preceding it, and others that may follow it, with the judicial process that's taking place. These offences, these crimes are well documented. The whole world knows of this, but there's no action being taken against these individuals. I mean, my incident where I'm physically involved took place in 2022. It's to a point that I am having to do my own security as well. I'm having to do PERSEC runs, OPSEC runs, just to ensure that myself is safe, my clients are safe, because they might even target your clients. In terms of the community at large, the blue light hijackings, it is continuing. We have people raiding premises without a search warrant, stating they are police officers. In this group, there is civilians that's identifying themselves as police officers, and they just allowed to basically continue this. And I mean, then, yeah, where do we stop as a community? Where do we stop as we're supposed to be a civilized state. We cannot have this.
Commissioner Baloy?
Yes. Witness, earlier on you said that after the Delmas incident, you removed yourself from stock recovery. What is the Delmas incident, and did it involve any members of law enforcement?
Commissioner, the Delmas incident also took place in 2022, shortly after I resigned from Guardian's Security. We received intelligence from in relation to a warehouse invasion where 4 truckloads of copper was stolen from a premises in Springs. An informer contacted us and informed us that he has a location of where this copper is being kept. Myself, Kobus Jansen van Rensburg, and Warrant Officer Roots from Crime Intelligence proceeded to the location. We were met by Captain Carla Hartley that was doing patrol in the area. We informed her of our information. We proceeded to this plot and gained access and found the truck with the copper that was stolen in Springs. Approximately 10 minutes after our discovery Kershaw Lee Stolz in a Metro Police vehicle, Aiden McKenzie in a Metro Police vehicle, rushed into the scene. They drove quite fast into the scene, and they didn't introduce themselves because we know them, and they said they're here for the recovery. Warrant Officer Roots then explained to them that SAPS member is already on scene, and that it's his scene. That he's notified LCRC, and Captain Hartley also indicated that she's the senior officer, and that EMPD has no mandate or jurisdiction in Delmas. They were very unhappy with myself, Kobus, Captain Hartley, as well as Warrant Officer Roots. Shortly after this, Chris Smith from Track Squad and Etienne arrived with a helicopter and started taking stock of the recovery stock. That is to say, count the recovered stock and phoning the owners, wanting a recovery fee. So we prevented them from getting a recovery fee for this recovery. It's also important to note where we recovered the copper on the plot in Delmas. That plot was rented, or a section of the plot was rented by an ex-girlfriend of Etienne van der Walt. So to me, it feels that the stock was left there after the robbery for them to recover it.
How common are these kind of incidents where law enforcement officers, security companies, and private citizens or civilians have been involved in similar operations such as what you're describing, what you've just described now, from your own experience and involvement?
Commissioner, if I may, like I mentioned, I did withdraw from that, but it is very common. I would say you have 2-3 events a month where it's high value cargo, to say cobalt, copper, or even just a normal blue light hijacking, which, as indicated, and it's prevalent in social media, news media, where police officers are part of the hijacking team. And then again, with the recovery on cobalt and copper, it is a planned operation from the start to the very end of the fake recovery. So these individuals that's doing the recoveries, that invoices the clients or the owners of the property, they would know at the start where the copper is going. They would know which vehicle to take. They would know which route to take. This is very prevalent along the N12, not the N12, my apologies, the N1 and then the N3 going past Alberton. So, and in most cases, until a stage, I would say until 6-7 months ago, it was very prevalent that EMPD members were doing the recoveries with individuals such as Etienne and Chris involved.
Thank you.
After Jaco Hannekom's death.
Yes, thank you, Witness D.
Just one question from me, Advocate Silo. Witness D, in paragraph 5 of your statement, you describe Jaco Hannekom as an SAPS informer of ill repute. But then in paragraph 47, you say at an incident in Brakpan, he arrived driving an Isuzu Baki fitted with blue lights. And when you asked why he was driving a police vehicle, he showed you a letter signed by Chief Mkhwanazi saying he was an EMPD police officer. As far as you know, was Jaco Hannekom an EMPD officer or a private citizen?
Commissioner, if I may, Jaco Hannekom was never a police officer. Jaco Hannekom he was a registered police informer, and as indicated, I believe he was involved with these illicit activities. And he was, that evening when I confronted him, he was in fact impersonating a police officer.